What's up, everybody? It's Top Bets checking back in. We got our NFL Week 3 top stacks, top plays of the week coming at you for the NFL DFS Draftkings main slate for the high risk millionaire lineups, those play action contests, all those high risk GPPs. I want to give you guys the best ceiling play so you guys can cash big. Before we get going, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you guys like these videos. Leave a comment below on who you think scores the most DraftKings points on the slate. As well, check out our guys at Occupy Fantasy. They do a phenomenal job with all of their DFS content. They range in a wide variety of sports. Go check them out. They do their daily plugs. They have their own lineup optimizer that I use myself. Best in the business. So go check those guys out at Occupy Fantasy. Also, 125% sign-up bonus at BetUS. All you got to use is code DOTBETS. And don't forget, every Sunday morning, we have our On the Dot Twitch stream at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I answer any questions you guys have. I give out free picks, free plays, and just tune in every single Saturday. Love to hear from you guys. Start, sit, DFS plays, anything that you guys have on your mind, check me out and let me know. So, without further ado, let's go. All right, so let's dive into some top stacks of the week. I'm going to give you 4. I'm going to give you 3 that probably every other site is going to give you. And then I'm going to give you 1 that is just a hunch play that I hope goes off. And I'm going to have a fair share of this game. And hopefully I can shoot up the leaderboard. But the first one, what we're going to do is we're going to go the Chargers and the Chiefs game. Obviously, everybody is going to be on this game. It's how you game stack. What we've been doing over every video is a 3-by-1. So that means if you're going to go Mahomes or if you're going to go Herbert, you're going to make sure that you go a wide receiver, 2 wide receivers with them, or a running back or a tight end with them, and then you bring it back with an opposing wide receiver. So if you go Mahomes and you go to Tyreek, and you come over here and you go Kelsey, incredibly expensive, but then you can come back with maybe not Keenan Allen, you come back with Mikey Williams. That's a different way to go about it. Or if you don't go Kelsey, you go maybe Mecole Hardman. You put Hardman in there and you get a 3-by-1 that way. So just differentiate your game stacks the way you're going to go about it. So I would say that the Chiefs would be a little bit heavier, so maybe you go a little bit heavier with the Chargers game stack. So the Chiefs and the Chargers is game stack 1. Then we are going to go to the other one is Seattle and Minnesota. So Seattle and Minnesota. This game, I'm probably going to have a lot more of Seattle than I would have with the Vikings. It all depends on Dalvin Cook, so you got to see and got to wait till Sunday to see if he's in or not. I think he's going to be playing, but Kirk Cousins has been very, very solid this season. 25 in repeated outcomes for week 1 and 2, and he's been finding Thielen. He's been finding Osborne, and he's been finding Jefferson. Not so much Jefferson, so you could probably lean on him to maybe have a bounce back week this week. So if you do go Cousins, Osborne, Thielen, or Jefferson, one of those guys, and you come back with a Lockett or a Metcalf. So think about that with your game stacks, or you go the opposite route and maybe come back with one of those Vikings receivers when you have Metcalf, Lockett, and Russell Wilson. And then you fill in the pieces from there. Third stack is the Bucks-Rams game. I think that's just enough said. I think all these over/under totals are like mid-50s. So everybody thinks they're going to score, expecting them to score. Brady has been Brady-esque. 32 points week 1, 30 points week 2. Then you got Stafford, who had an okay week in week 2. He had 27 points week 1, 18. So a lot of people are going to probably side with the Bucks here. So differentiate yourself. Maybe go heavy Rams stacks. So with Stafford, Kupp, and Woods, and you come back with maybe a Godwin or a or Mikey Evans. So just differentiate yourself. AB is out, and I think Rojo's probably done with that lineup right now. I wouldn't trust him in any lineups. I would go Fournette. But then there are also, Scotty Miller is involved there, and I know they were talking about Jalen Darden getting some run there as well in Tampa Bay. So game stacks, those are probably the three main ones. So the fourth one that I think a lot of people pick this guy up in fantasy, but I don't know how many people are actually going to play him. So it's going to be Atlanta versus the Giants. And I can't believe I'm actually saying this and recording this and putting this out on the internet, but I'm going to have a fair share of Giant stacks, and I'm going to have a fair share of Falcon stacks. Don't ask me why. It's a hunch play. My other one would have been Arizona and Jacksonville, but I think that's a little bit more a popular one. But if you look at Daniel Jones, he's been 22 points week 1, 29 in week 2, and he can run. He's run for 27 yards week 1, 95 yards in week 2. He is a dual threat quarterback, and Jason Garrett's finally recognizing him as so. Pair him with Barkley, pair him with Galladay, or you say, screw Barkley, we have Galladay, Slayton, or Shepard. So either one of those, and then you come back with a Ridley, you come back with Pitts on that end. And I know Gage is out as well for the Falcons, so you can game stack it the opposite way. I probably have a little bit more Giants than I will have of the Falcons. It's an ugly one to do, but I'm gonna try to go ahead and do it. All right, now let's dive into some top plays at each position. I'll give about 3 or 4, and I think that's pretty good as you kind of limit your player pool a little bit. So for quarterbacks, I gave you 4 stacks, so you could pretty much take those 8 quarterbacks and mix and match. If you want to go off the radar from those game stacks, and you said, hey, I don't want to game stack at all, my top option will be Lamar, and then it would probably be Murray. I'm probably off Murray this week just because I think he's going to be super popular. Jackson has a great matchup against Detroit. He can run right all over them, but mostly what I'm going to do is stick with those guys in those game stacks. Have a lot of Herbert, have a lot of Mahomes, a lot of Cousins, a lot of Wilson, and then have some Daniel Jones as well. So, and then some Stafford and Brady. So those are my guys for quarterbacks. But you mainly keep it to your stacks that you're gonna end up playing. Running back wise, you could go back to Derrick Henry. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to have that great of a game. No, that's a ceiling game he had in week 2. The one guy that I think is bound to get going is ALVIN KAMARA. So 18 points week 1, 7 points week 2. He had 20 attempts and he had 8 attempts. It's more, if you watched the stream earlier with Source Podcast, we talked about how there's been extremes with the Saints being really, really efficient and then horribly inefficient. So it's going to be a mix of in between in this game. And I think that's going to involve a lot of Kamara. So he's probably my top play. Then it would go Austin Ekeler, who has humongous games against the Chiefs. The Chiefs cannot stop anybody with the run. Chiefs can't stop anybody in the air. I love that Ekeler does both. And then I'm going to keep going back to this guy. Just the volume is there. The volume is always there with Joe Mixon. He's got 20 attempts and 29 attempts for the first 2 weeks. So almost 50 rush yards. Definitely going to be in play. Also, be on the lookout. If Dalvin Cook is out, I think Madison is a no-brainer play. I think you have to lock button him to an extent or have extreme exposures. And then another guy, just for value, that I like is Kenyan Drake. I think he just brings a lot of value. 5,500. His price has gone up a little bit, so he went from 48 to 49. Now he's at 55. But I think his role just keeps on growing. Jacobs has been doubtful, so I like him this week as well. So receivers, you're going to keep going back to those game stacks. Game stacks, and then you're going to really, really see pretty much on like air yards and who's getting a lot of value on that end with the receivers. So, you're going to game stack your Chargers, your Chiefs guys. You're going to game stack your Seattle and Minnesota, Atlanta, Giants, and then Tampa Bay and Rams. But then the guys in between that I like. So I really, really like A.J. Brown this week. I think he's going to have a bounce back week. 9 targets, 2 receptions. He had a ton of drops last week. He's going to get the ball again, and he's going to cash in. I can see him having multiple touchdowns. I'm calling one, but I could see multiple. Then so Deontay's out. We'll see how well Big Ben can throw it. He's hurting. But Juju has some extreme value here. I think a lot of people are going to be off this game because of Ben. If Ben can tough it out like I've seen him tough it out, you could see Juju and Claypool break some lineups, break some slates here. So be on the lookout for those guys. Courtland Sutton, I think he's going to have a bunch of usage as well. He's gotten, I think he leads the league in air yards. And he's the replacement for Jerry Jeudy. We'll see how many people play him. I don't expect too many to be playing him on a double-digit spread, but we shall see. That's another guy that I like a lot this week. You could go back to Michael Pittman. I was kind of off of him, but then also look at Hopkins' situation in Arizona. I truly hope that he plays so that we can still keep throwing Rondale Moore in our lineups. 10 points week 1. We got 27 points week 2. I really, really like his matchup here. But in regards to the receivers, you're going to stick to your game stacks and then have those one-offs be a bunch of those guys that you think can have incredible upside. So like the guys that I just reeled off a little bit about. And then for tight end, we have the top 6 tight ends in the game on this slate, which is a great leverage situation. A lot of people are going to be going Kelsey. A lot of people are going to be going Waller, Gronk because of recent. My favorite at the tight end position is Hockenson. TJ Hockenson is the guy there in Detroit. 25 points in week 1, 20 in week 2, 11 targets to 9 targets. Everybody knew coming in, Goff likes to throw to his tight ends, and he has proven everybody right. So Hockenson is a big play for me this week against the Ravens. Also like Pitts because he's in my stacks. I do like Kelsey because he's going to be in my stacks. I'll probably limit my exposure to Gronk. I don't think he can keep up this pace. I mean, he's catching, what has he caught? 2 touchdowns. No, 4 touchdowns on the year. Sorry, 29 and 19. I think the ball gets spread around a little bit more. I don't think this offense becomes that much more efficient this week. Then I also love Higbee. And then I'm going to give you guys some value plays down here. So Cole Kmet, I'm going to keep targeting him. I think now with Fields at the realm, he's going to dump it off to a little bit more of a safety realm here with Kmet. And then Doyle came back alive week 2, so he's worth a flyer if you want to save some salary. I'm not going to have too much exposure. I'm going to keep my exposures to Higbee, Pitts, and then a majority of Hockenson and Kelsey. I like those guys a lot with Hockenson leading the pack. You could go Waller, but I probably won't have too much shares of Waller there. But I do like Hockenson. So I'm not going to worry about too much of my defenses. You guys know my philosophy there. You take home teams down here who have favorable matchups that you can see getting some turnovers. The Titans are a very, very good situation at home against a beat-up quarterback in Carson Wentz. So I'll probably have a bunch of shares of the Titans. Maybe some of the Vikings. I doubt it, though, with my stack. And I'm not going to trust the Lions. So I'm probably going to be defaulting a lot to the Titans. And then maybe have some Browns. And then maybe have some Raiders or something like that. But nothing crazy with defenses. I try to limit my main focus in these videos to the skill positions. So, like I said before, if you guys want to comment below, leave a who you guys think goes off this week, and then check me out on Twitch 10:30 a.m. Each and every Sunday, giving away free picks, free props, and then the Occupy link and BetUS links are in the description below. And then we also have a free Discord. So join the free Discord, and that it is below as well. So I'm rambling. I'm getting out of here.